are live on Girls Run These Worlds with Regency Remixed The Gardeners, a good society game using the Emma Forget Me Not expansion, exploring a Regency era where girls do in fact run the world, where non-binary people are recognized in the gentry, and LGBTQIA plus romances are part of the norm. I would like to welcome the audience for our penultimate episode. We're only going to 5 episodes this season, but boy, have we managed to pack it in. Um, but before we get started, I would like our lovely cast to introduce themselves, starting with Abby. Who are you, and what do you do when you're not playing our lovely little hedonist chrysanthemum?
Why, shucks, gonna give you a complex. But hi, I'm Abby, and tonight I will be taking on the role of the hedonistic but somewhat maturing chrysanthemum gardener. And if you want to find me in other places, find me at Enough of Abby. But for now, let's watch me and my siblings cause some chaos.
We are clearly all here for it. DK, who are you, and what do you do when you're not playing our lovely um our lovely Lady Dahlia?
Hi, hello, yes, that's me. I'm DK. When I'm not here being Lady Delia Gardner, you can find me on Exquisite Corpse Presents, DMing two very, very weird homebrew games, one of which you can also find Abby in. I also play on Q Times in Blackness and Dragons when that is running. We just had our season finale, so you're going to have to go a couple weeks without us. And in the future, I have a Starship Troopers game, and additionally, a Final Fantasy Tactics game coming up. So look for those.
Oh, ooh, there's a lot of good stuff happening for DK. Get hype, y'all. Next up, Glaiza.
Hey, I am Glaiza. I go by they, them. I am a person of many hats. I am a podcast host. I'm a writer, a variety streamer, a talk show host of a show called Trial Run, which is a show where I interview different TTRPG personalities, creators, players, GMs, and everything else in between. I create a character with them and run them through a quick one shot. This Friday, my guest is going to be Eliza Pearl, and I'm excited to show her the wonderful world of teens in space. Speaking of TTRPG personalities, I guess I'm one too. I have so many shows that are both announced and not yet announced, but you can find all of that on Twitter by looking for @classicalglaiza, and everywhere else on the socials except for Instagram because I don't use Instagram. It gives me weird feelings. I'll be playing today Kerria, the noble, the liege that is totally not messy and totally just super sweet and kind and everything about that. That's Kerria for sure, 100%.
Yup, just another well-adjusted gardener. And last but not least, Kristin, welcome back. Who are you? And tell us about the character you play a little bit.
Hello, I am Kristin House, she, her. I play Iris Gardner. She has, kind of gone off and been a little messy, partying underground with her erotica literary circle and the likes, unable to cope with the loss of her mother. When I am not here, you can find me all over the place. I'm available for all kinds of TTRPG opportunities, from playing to producing, all sorts of things. And you can just find me over on Twitter, which it's Kristin _house. And I also game and stream on my own Twitch channel, which is just my name, Kristin House. So yeah, go to those places to find out the specifics of other stuff. And I'm happy to be back this week.
That's great. So before we get started on exploring the goings-ons of life as a gardener, we have some business to attend to, starting with the rumor and scandal phase. So we've got... I'm just trying to figure out... Okay, so we have one idle piece of gossip, and everything else has been confirmed. So, you all know how this works. We're going to go one at a time, starting this time with Kristin. We're going to drop those rumors, confirm them.
Ooh, okay.
Y'all know how this works.
Starting.
So go ahead, Kristin.
Starting with me. So something's already confirmed. Do I have to confirm it again?
No, those are good to go.
Okay. So then I will start the rumor that Iris Gardner okay, I have to think of how I want to word this. Iris Gardner is disgracing her family by attending unsavory events.
Right.
In secret.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay, starting off strong.
I gotta make up for, missing a week. Gotta get messy, max messy at the top.
Absolutely. So just that, just the fact that she is going to social events. What is it?
Book club.
Yeah, book club. Unsavory social events that, would be bad for the family's image.
Yeah. Sure, we'll go with that. Glaiza, what do you have for us?
There's a rumor that had appeared suddenly that Esther and Kerria hooked up when they were really young, like 18.
Ooh.
Hello.
Oh dang. Okay. Okay.
You tasted my ex-fiance's goods?
Yeah. Like the first time. They were each other's firsts.
Oh dang.
Ayo, spicy.
Oh dang. Okay.
I don't know how ages work. We're probably around this. I don't know.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. So what was the rumor again?
Oh, Kerria Gardner and Esther LaFay had a one-night stand when they were younger.
Oh, that's
each other's firsts.
Oh, okay. We'll say they once had a dalliance in their younger years.
Sorry, I forgot to put it in Regency terms.
Yeah, they were getting it on. Okay, let's be real.
They were, but
okay, DK. You can also confirm a rumor that is unconfirmed.
I would like to start a rumor that Lucy Baker is the writer the person from the Regency pretending to be a writer, and that they are in direct competition with Eileen Farmer.
Wow, my brain hurts. Okay. Good thing Lucy knows who Irene Farmer actually is, I guess. Maybe. Maybe that's bad.
Okay. And Abby, what do you got for us? You gonna confirm, create?
I would love to confirm the rumor, actually, that Kerria and Esther had a bit of a dalliance, because I feel like it came up during one of our arguments.
And okay, there you go.
Kristin may have thrown it around in some anger during a less mature kind of.
Okay, do you have I will let you have your second turn, and then we're gonna go. reverse order. So, do you have a rumor, or would you like to confirm another? Because you got a whole bunch of them there.
I actually would love to pose the rumor that Esther Lee Fay has
Mhm.
taken up sword training.
Sword training, like fencing, or like straight up swords?
Oh,
The
straight up blades. Not
commitment.
even like the lady like dashing. It's like full on blades.
Okay, that's fine. That's hilarious. That is okay. And DK.
I would like. I'm going to confirm the rumor about Esther and sword training.
Excellent. I love that.
So much news about Esther. I love it.
She had a rough week last week, so
Yeah, pretty bad.
I'm going to give
I
her
mean,
some
she's-
now.
I don't blame her.
According to some of these rumors, she can't keep her nose out of the garden, if you know what I mean.
All right, Glaiza, please take your second turn in this round.
There is a look-alike that is walking around that is rumored to look like Kerria Gardner.
Oh, nice. Got it.
My second turn will be confirming that Lucy Baker is a member of the peerage. Da, 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 da.
Okay. Okay, so that one's confirmed. Okay. So I would like a vignette from each of you, nothing too expensive, of how you all come across the most recent scandal sheet. And I will start with Lady Dahlia.
Dahlia now gets the scandal sheet delivered to her personally because her family keeps appearing in it, and she'd like to be as ahead of the 8 ball as possible. So Althea brings in the scandal sheet, and she immediately stops everything else that she's doing and just starts looking for her siblings' names.
Oh no.
I think this time she is extremely pleased to see how little her family has been mentioned in the scandal sheet. Does have a few concerns about the mention of Kerria and some kind of doppelganger, though, and is going to Althea. Next time you go into town, would you, I suppose, look for a less well-dressed version of the Liege? Just let me know if that is in fact a thing.
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, and she's gonna enjoy that there was only one Gardner sibling mentioned this time.
Yeah, there's mention of you in the like second page, but nothing too significant. You know, the old rumor about your 2 engagements, but nothing too scandalous this time around.
Nobody reads the second page. It's okay.
Yeah, you're absolutely fine. All right, and Kerria, how do you come across the scandal sheets? The society papers.
Kerria enjoys the scandal sheets, so they also have a copy delivered to them during the day, and they look at it and they stare at it, and they're like, well, that took them long enough to find out. Referring, of course, to the Kerria and Esther thing. I knew that one was gonna bite me in the butt. And then reading further, I see that there's a doppelganger, and I quietly prepare to go out myself to see if I can find this doppelganger.
Okay. And Chrysanthemum. How does Chrysanthemum come across the society papers?
I imagine I'm actually just leaving Finn's house. No, not the window this time. But I imagine both his fathers quite enjoy reading it. Everyone has their little dalliances, and I catch one of my siblings' names across the page, and Esther's entwined. So I excuse myself suddenly. I'm getting the carriage back. I know Esther brought it up during an argument, but I thought she was just being, herself. But now I've got questions, and they need answers.
And last but not least, let's hear from Iris about how she finds these society papers.
Yes, I imagine Iris would be in bed at Sophia's place. And Sophia would be the one to kind of like plop down next to her with the paper, having retrieved it from wherever Iris would have been sleeping in or something, and would take in the news, and then suddenly see Lucy's name, and be startled by that, and then it's more slowly dawn on her that the second part is her pseudonym that she writes under, and also the name that Sophia knows her by. So that would be like an awkward stumbling kind of moment that if anybody was paying attention, they might catch. Well, this is quite interesting news to wake up to.
I would say so. Especially Lucy Baker seems to be, well, competing with you, my love.
I mean, have you ever met her?
Met, watched from afar, not really, Watch from afar, definitely.
Why?
I don't really participate in the peerage.
Yes. I understand. Well, this is news to me. Quite interesting news. I didn't even know she wrote.
It seems like she knew you wrote. Would you have an idea why she's so interested in competing with you?
Well, I am quite talented.
You are quite
so, I am a popular goal to reach, something to aspire to be. So, that part doesn't particularly surprise me.
Of course. Well, maybe you should meet.
Why bother with someone who has to make their name by calling out somebody who's already well established through rumors and gossip?
Well, if they are a member of the peerage, and maybe if you become friends, it could lead to more opportunities.
Oh, since when are you in favor of the peerage?
Oh, I'm not in favor of the peerage. I just want you to have more opportunities outside of our little book club. Because you write so well, my dear. And
but wouldn't it be more meaningful for me to do it without the peerage?
I suppose. I was just thinking maybe you would need another patron. Because I might be a patron, but I can't really provide certain monetary needs.
I'll figure it out. Don't, who cares? And she'll toss the paper to the side and kiss Sophia if Sophia's chill with it.
Sophie is super chill.
Okay, that's how.
They tumble on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Yep.
Fade to black.
Regency fade to black. Very classy.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Rumor and scandal phase completed. Let's jump into the epistolary phase really quickly. So in this phase, you can write a letter to someone. You can offer a resolve token to get someone to write a letter to you, a specific character. You can write a journal entry. You can describe a dream or a nightmare, or you can have one of those weather interludes. And you will have 2 each. If anybody has any ideas, you can volunteer to go first. Otherwise, I'm going to call someone out.
I would love to have Esther write a letter to Chrysanthemum asking for a meeting, a private one.
Yeah, that resolve. You can offer that resolve token to whoever's playing Esther. The only thing is that would take up one of their 2 turns. So if DK has other plans for their 2 turns, then they may refuse.
I only have plans for 1 turn. It doesn't. Yeah, that works for me. I'll take the token.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you can transfer the token from Chrysanthemum to Esther.
So I think that Chrysanthemum receives a letter with no pomp, no circumstance, just a plain piece of paper and a plain envelope. And inside it says, Chrysanthemum, as funny as your little stunt was at the last social event that we attended, and it has your mark all over it, you and your rotten older siblings, I would request that we discuss whatever it is that you would like to discuss civilly and stop sharing information with the scandal papers. So if you would please meet me at a neutral location as soon as is humanly possible, I'm sure both of our reputations would greatly appreciate it. Esther LeFay.
Oh, this is just dripping with venom. She's angry. But I'm gonna, tuck it into my unmentionables and not mention to anyone, but make plans for make plans for a meeting.
Okay. You still technically have 2 turns, so is there anything you would like to do for yourself right now? Or would you like to wait?
Me or Abby?
Abby, sorry. For Chrysanthemum.
I would like to have a confrontation with Kara about did you bang Esther? Did you?
Is it like a weather interlude situation, or do you want to fit it in with visitations?
I'd say a weather interlude actually could be interesting.
Okay, so you want to have that right now? We can have that right now.
I would absolutely be down for it if Glaiza is down for it.
Glaiza?
I'm totally here for it.
Okay, so then you would have a short scene. We'll have a stormy interlude.
I imagine Chrysanthemum, she's actually waiting in Kerria's room for them. She's reading, oh gosh, let me refer to the book list. She's reading Heavy Discretion by Irene Farmer. And she's actually using the letter she got from Esther as a bookmark, just until Kerria walks in.
Kerria, later we'll discuss what Kerria's been up to, walks in a little disheveled and a little stressed, and walks in surprised to see Chrysanthemum in the room. Cinti, what's up? I mean, that's Arthur's nickname for you. Chrysanthemum, what's up?
I was going to say Arthur. Why, hello there. Oh, hello, Kerria. Wonderful sibling of mine. I snap the book shut. Sorry to intrude upon your private space, but I read something rather concerning this morning while I was visiting with the O'Doyles.
Ah, the scandal paper, I assume, is what you're referring to.
Precisely, and I understand that these things can be, you know what they say about idle hands and the devil's workings, but Esther brought it up during an argument that once, when I was much younger, that you two may have engaged in an inappropriate manner. Did you fuck my ex-fiance or not?
Yeah. First of all, I didn't know you guys were going to go out together or get engaged. In fact, I feel like all of this is Esther's fault for messing around with me, specifically.
Well, Kerria, you haven't exactly been keeping it in your pants. I have no idea what you've been doing out on your journeys.
First of all, why are you mad? This was a long time ago. It's not like I did it after you guys were together.
It just feels like something that siblings would tell each other. Like, for instance, I canoodled Eliza in the gazebo. I would have told you, oh, yes, by the way, that woman you're in love with, I necked her during your fifth garden party.
I didn't even realize that was her name. Like, I didn't even get her name when we canoodled. It was a moment of weakness. And then I was too busy leaving to really pay attention to what was happening between you and Esther. Why do you think I have so much venom towards her? Other than her, well, not really stealing, but like, because Eliza is a person, and you know, she makes her own choices. But why do you think I have so much venom?
I can see, and I apologize for being so furious with you, and Chrysanthemum holds up the letter. Esther wanted to speak with me, and after seeing that, I wanted to know if this was true. I need to go in with every dagger I have at my hand before I go speak with her.
It was not a moment filled with feelings. It was a moment of passion, sure. It was a mistake, yeah. I would never, well, I won't do it again, I guess. But I'm just saying, this is how all happened in the past. I'm actually surprised that it's been brought up right now.
Indeed, it's opportune.
So long ago. Just be careful. I've also read that that Esther has started practicing with swords. Be careful.
Of course, you don't tell Dahlia, but I just like reach in between my corset and like pull out like a kitchen knife. It's not much, but I came prepared.
That's not gonna.
Yes,
and
but
then,
speed. She's 6'4".
Kerria goes into their closet and brings out a much sharper and much like really for fighting dagger. Let me get that kitchen knife. Use this instead. And then not from the bosom, put it over here on your thigh, okay? So it's because you might stab yourself if you put it here.
Oh, of course.
Thigh, okay? Just like that.
Thank you, Kerria. Really,
yeah, no problem.
I appreciate your honesty. I imagine, considering everything, it's been difficult.
Yeah. Be safe.
Okay.
Chrysanthemum will head out the room with a dagger strapped to her thigh.
Yes. All right, let's transition over to Kerria. What you got for this stage?
Let's see. Let's do another storm technically.
Oh, we're gonna be so stormy.
I basically, this is before the meeting with Chrysanthemum after having read the scandal paper.
Okay.
So Kerria runs out of the Gardner estate trying to find like Kennedy, the doppelganger.
The doppelganger. And
It
where
only
would
basically Kerria is gonna go everywhere they normally like would think that she would be when they first met, because they know that she shouldn't be here. That's the whole reason why they left, and she should not be here. And they're concerned about what's happening, so they're gonna go probably to uh an inn or anywhere that that might. They're gonna quickly go into town to look for them.
Okay. And just to make it clear for me, what reason would she have to come into town? I I was not prepared for
No,
this.
that's okay. I'm thinking that the person who was blackmailing me sent another letter, but
Okay.
send it to that address to where Kennedy was, but it is addressed to me.
Okay. So you actually find Kennedy on the outskirts of Avondale. There's like a line of cottages, like areas that are a little more away from civilization, where some might go to retreat or have a some kind of vacation. And that is the place where you had originally had her stay for a bit, and you know that this is like a familiar, safe place. You would spend time there, like having her there just to keep an eye on her for a while before you sorted out a better situation for her. When you finally get there, she greets you at the door.
I am upset, and that can be definitely seen from my body language. And I go, Kennedy, what the fuck are you doing here?
She pulls out a letter. You know where I'm from. They're not as accepting. And, well, look, it's another letter.
All right. I think maybe it's because I've been back that whoever this is trying to mess with you again. Where is your husband?
Well, he's away right now. Military. He's
Right.
training.
All right.
I had to come and warn you.
It's fine. Thank you. Thank you for warning me. Now get out. I got you out of here for a reason. To keep you safe. Leave as early as you can. And I give her some money to,
Huh?
I know they won't accept me here. But
it's not that they won't.
It pains me to be away from you. We've been apart for so long.
I understand that, but there's danger here. Somebody... I don't know who's doing this to us. Who's doing this to me. Who's blackmailing me. But as long as they think that I am you and there's only one Kerria, you remain safe. Do you understand? You have to be safe because they don't know you exist.
I'll do what I can.
And then I hug my biological twin sister.
I hate this so much. This is the worst situation. I wish I'd been adopted like you.
I wish you were too.
Why can't I be a part of your family now?
Because I don't want you in danger. I'll bring it. I promise to bring it up as soon as things calm down. And I'm sure Mother will have some sort of way. But right now, you're in danger. I don't care about myself. I care about your safety.
You have a powerful family, Kerria. Why can't they just fix this? Why can't we be together?
Because...
Why?
Trust me.
What aren't you telling me?
Just trust me for now, Kennedy. I know that's a lot to ask, but I did leave my whole family to make sure you're safe for about a year without any explanation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll leave as soon as I can, but I can't leave for another day. I have, carriage is the carriage. We need to arrange for a carriage and everything, but I will be gone by tomorrow.
I will see you soon. I promise. I'll make sure of it.
Well, never broken a promise. Don't start now.
I won't.
Okay.
Then I leave and come home to Chrysanthemum shouting in my face.
Great. And Kristin, what would you like to do for your first turn?
Well. I am gonna do a storm.
Everybody's having stormy
weather.
And I am going to do your most typical dramatic Jane Austen-y moment you can think of, and have very, very similar to, there's a reason why Kerria and I are the closest as siblings. Were very similar in a lot of ways. So in a pouring thunderstorm, Iris will show up on Lucy's doorstep, pounding with a bunch of notebook papers in her arms, just soaking wet. Her clothes are just clinging to her skin, just droplets of rain running down her face as the thunder still crackles behind her. Lucy!
Oh my god, wait, if we're gonna make this full sapphic confrontation moment, I appear Lucy appears on a balcony. She's wearing one of those white gowns, and of course, it starts to get soaked as she looks down. Iris Gardner?
Come down here, now, please.
Are those hickeys on your neck?
No. Can you come down here?
She slams the door shut to her balcony, but you can hear inside she's pounding down the stairs.
Excellent. Once she's like, at least even in the doorway, Iris is going to like shake the pages at her, which they're starting to get wet and sticking together, and the ink is like starting to run down the pages. I've locked myself in my room trying to write a love story, and it's just pathetic. Nothing. It's useless. The words cannot even begin to replicate the intensity of how you make me feel, and it's useless. And she's going to throw the pages up in the air in the rainstorm. And I would like to spend a resolve token to grab Lucy and kiss her.
I mean, yes, please.
Okay. Goodbye, resolve.
Exchange the tokens and have the moment. I love this. Y'all are amazing.
I
Yeah.
will. I want to spend a token to have Sophia follow. Irene Farmer and see all of this.
Oh my god. Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
I love it. It's okay, so I'll get that token right on back. I love it.
Oh
Messy.
no. I have a question. For my
Mhm.
own clarification, is Sophia just like creepy stalking
No,
Irene, or are they actually going to confront? Paint a picture.
Sophia is going to make a noise. Loud enough. I don't know. If there was like a bull or whatever, there would be like clashing or whatever, crashing. Just so that Irene and Lucy would look at her, and then instead of like confronting or saying anything, Sophia angrily turns and runs away, and obviously very upset.
Cool.
And Sophia goes home and throws away Irene Gardner's things from her house, from her apartment.
Irene Farmer.
Yeah, Irene Farmer's
Yay.
stuff. It's like,
Okay.
throws it out. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Just happened to be walking in the neighborhood and then was like,
Yeah, just
what?
newspaper.
No.
looking over.
She did follow her. She did follow Irene. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my tiny brain cell just realized like, Sophia probably followed Irene from their place. Okay, sorry. Proceed.
I want to say, as the kiss ends between Iris and, goddamn, I almost said Lucy. I know it's not her. It is Lucy. I'm thinking Sophie.
Yeah.
I have their names mixed up but like she looks up, her hands are on Iris's chest, and she just says, "Iris Gardner, is this all you are? Grand gestures? I haven't heard from you in weeks. I thought you had taken ill with consumption." She just, tears are starting to form in her eyes. I can't do this.
I mean, surely you heard that my mother died.
I did. Yes, but
I apparently don't know how to handle grief. But I think I've come a bit on the other side of it now, and I'm here.
But for how long?
As long as you'll have me.
Damn your writer's tongue. And Lucy will let herself fall back into Iris's arms. Like, she's still a little tearful, but she's not pulling away. She's nuzzling into her collarbone. It's sapphic. There's still rain. I'm wearing a white gown. It's okay.
Yeah. That'll end the storm moment.
Okay, cool. Does Dahlia want to do anything in this storm? We can just say it's the same day.
one big storm.
One big storm everywhere.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Please don't. Please.
Well,
Say
yes,
what?
but I would like to offer Glaiza a token for something.
Okay. Okay.
I would like to offer Glaiza a token for Kennedy to be the one blackmailing them.
I accept it.
And now we know who the evil twin actually is. Great.
So following that, I would like for Althea to have found this out and informed Dahlia. And in this same storm, I would like for Dahlia to go find Kennedy.
Just give me a minute. I need a minute. We're gonna sort this out. All right. Let us proceed. Yeah, so Althea would report back to Dahlia, like, "Oh, Lady Dahlia, I saw them. The one mentioned in the society papers.
The
I saw
Liege's
I
body.
saw
Though.
them. I saw them head towards the outskirts of Avondale. You know, that area with the cottages. The one that's slightly secluded from the rest of the town. By the water."
Call the carriages quietly. I think I'm going to take a trip.
Okay, and what would you have me say if they are looking for you? And she gestures, like, around the house.
Tell them I'm with Ulysses. That should keep them busy.
Very well. And Althea discreetly goes to have the carriage prepared for your trip.
I think when she gets there, Dahlia slides out of the carriage with just like one footman, not a very low or high stealth operation. I think she gets out of the carriage with a huge umbrella and somehow manages to avoid the mud that wants to cake up the layers of her skirt and goes up to the door and knocks very politely.
When Kennedy opens the door, you see a person who looks very much like someone you know very well. Definitely of a lower station. Definitely, yeah. What would you say that Kennedy is like? Just like a
Kennedy, it goes by she, her, and
like a lower class,
totally,
like just
yeah.
regular member of the gentry, no special title. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So she definitely does not dress in the same way as your sibling, but there's similar features and almost like looking into a weird alternate version of your sibling because they look almost identical. Hello. How may I help you?
Well, there are several ways that you can help me. You and I have a mutual friend. Well, they're my friend. I don't know that they're your friend based on things I've been hearing, but Kerria is certainly my friend and my younger sibling. And I was just hoping that you and I could speak.
There is a reluctant look on her face before Kennedy steps aside to let you enter the cottage. It is a modest cottage, nothing fancy, and she closes the door behind her. And she says, "Please sit down. Uh, Lady Dahlia?"
I am. And you are?
Kennedy Wickham. I'm Kerria's twin sister.
I would imagine you are. So I suppose my first question for you, if you don't mind me being so bold, is why you're taking advantage of them, if that's the case.
We were separated years ago. Different orphanages, and I just, when I found out they had been adopted by your family, I guess I wanted to spend time with them. And it wasn't even that I wanted the money. I just wanted a reason for them to come see me. I didn't realize it would get so out of hand. And then real problems started arising that kept them away. I didn't. It started out as a convoluted plan to get them to come see me, but, you know, other things happened, and my husband made some enemies, and Kerria was there for me. I never meant for it to get this out of hand. And I have to wait a bit longer before I can properly have a relationship with my twin. I've been having to lay low. So yes, I've partially created this mess, but what I really wanted was just to have a relationship with my sibling. And I didn't think there was any way they'd ever want to leave your family and leave the trappings of the peerage behind for someone they hadn't seen in over 20 years.
Do you know who Kerria wasn't there for? Our mother, for the year before she passed away. Because of you. Because of the lie that you told.
I had no idea.
No, people generally don't when they start rumors or start blackmailing people. They generally don't think about how far things will go and what people will lose. I'm sure you didn't think about the time that you stole from Kerria and our family. You thought about what you wanted, which was a relationship with Kerria, which, by the by, you could have had you only spoken up. Had we had any inkling that there were two of you, of course our mothers wouldn't have left you out in the cold. Had you only asked, you could have had everything that you wanted, but instead, you have stolen time that Kerria will never get back. And you have stolen sanity that Kerria will never get back. I don't care that you didn't want the money. Frankly, if I thought that you wanted money, I would have brought more than enough with me to make you go away. What I care about is the fact that Kerria has gone out of their way to protect you based on a lie. The very least that you can do is tell them the truth and free them and give them the choice of whether or not they would like to be associated with you. Don't force them into it.
You're absolutely right.
I will give you 1 week to tell the Liege the truth of this situation, and then they and I will be having a very different conversation. So it's in your best interest to do the right thing for once.
You get a nod from Kennedy. And I will make sure to do this as soon as I can. Probably within the next day. I promised them I would be gone.
Should Kerria find it in their heart to forgive you for all of this, you will be more than welcome at our home for dinner, for meals, for social events, but that's up to Kerria. They've earned that much.
We ended up in very different worlds, and I didn't expect that I didn't expect to be accepted as someone of my station. And desperation can be a terrible motivator. I never meant to cause any harm. I will make sure to have a conversation with Kerria. With the Liege, of course.
I understand desperation and I understand making poor choices as a result of it. What I need you to understand is that I don't have biological siblings. The siblings I have are the ones that I asked for, and I would do anything for them. And as Kerria's twin, I don't understand how you lack that instinct.
There's a definite, like, hang your head in shame moment because she just doesn't have a response to it. And then she said,
Dahlia said her piece. She's just going to get up and quietly let herself out.
yeah, she doesn't say anything. She's just feeling really bad about her choices right now. Okay. Abby, do you have a second thing for Chrysanthemum?
Ooh. Yeah.
Or do you have like something else you want to do for this turn? If it's okay if you don't, because you did spend that resolve token as well.
I did. I unfortunately cannot think of anything unless I could use one of the connections, but let me know if that is not a rule thing.
Well, yeah, you can actually use one of the connections as well. It doesn't. It has to be one. It doesn't have to be the main character you play. It can also be any of the connections you play.
I would love to do that. So I would love to have Lucy send Iris a letter.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Let's go.
It is perfumed. It's done in some of her best stationery. But the message itself is, who is she? Signed, Lucy Baker.
Cool.
Oh, hello. Okay. Glaiza, anything else for Kerria? Do you have a second thing? Muted?
I'm going to use Sophia's token to write a letter to Irene Farmer.
Oh.
you don't need to do that. You can just
I can just write it.
you can just write it.
All right. In the letter,
Why am I getting so many letters?
the letter
Because you're
states,
popular.
My dearest Irene, if that even is your name. I know when we first met, it was only supposed to be for fun. But it must have been clear to you that my heart, by the end, felt different. If only you were honest with me, then it wouldn't have hurt so much. Consider this letter a formal request to end any relationship between us. Yours for the last time, Sophia.
I would like to remind the players that y'all have monologue tokens you can play on a character. They only apply to main characters. So I'm just saying, if one of you wants to spend that monologue token, I believe they are currently unspent. So someone can do it. Anybody, because I want to hear how Iris is feeling about that letter.
Same.
Well, you have a monologue token. You can just ask for it. Do
It's
it.
true. Although
Do
that
it,
would
Abby.
be mean. I think I'm gonna give Kristin some time to think about it. And I'm actually gonna monologue
Okay.
for Chrysanthemum before her meeting with
Wait.
Kester.
Hold on. So you already had two turns.
Oh, right.
Glaiza
Can
just
you
did-
play a monologue token on yourself or only on other players?
You play your monologue token on other people's main characters specifically.
Right,
They do not
okay.
work on connections.
All right, so I would love to send that spicy little token over to
Excellent.
Iris. You've been digging around the flower beds, so to speak, or rather, people have been digging in your flower beds. I'd love to know your thoughts.
Okay, so I gotta do that right now, right?
Yes.
Iris, upon receiving, goodness gracious, two very different, two letters. Upon receiving Sophia's letter, would be sad, but Sophia was just a fling for her. So she would kind of look at it and think about it and then throw it in the trash. And she would look then at Lucy's letter, and the way that she's feeling is part of her motivation for throwing away Sophia's letter is that she does want to be all in with Lucy and prove to her that this time things are actually different. And so she's stressed because it feels like a lot is at stake with Lucy here. Those are her feelings and thoughts. That's what's going on in her head.
Cool. Fun fact, you're the only one who hasn't had their second turn, so the floor is yours if you'd like to write a letter.
Oh gosh, is that true? That's not true.
You can write a letter from your main character or your connections, actually. You can just do that. It'll be easy. Or you can do the other things.
I'm gonna write a letter to Dahlia as Peregrine. And it is going to say, I request we meet at the spot in the park where we decided to elope. And I think you were muted if you said anything. But anyway, yeah, that's my turn.
I intentionally muted. That was a
okay.
reaction
Sorry.
phase.
Okay, gotcha.
Great. So that covers our epistolary phase for this part of things. I did something funky with this sheet. I need to not do that. Okay. Great.
It's spicy.
So y'all have super understood the assignment, and I think if it's all right, we are going to take a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, and then
Sounds good.
What I would like for all of you to consider during the break is what kind of scenes we are going to do during the novel chapter, because our novel chapter is just going to be like, very slice of life, each gardener doing their business. I have one scene in mind to kick off the novel chapter, and then you guys just get to play your characters and figure your lives out. So, we are going to take a break for 15 minutes, and then we will proceed with our novel chapter. So stay tuned, everyone, for more delightful gardener drama. And we'll be back right after this. I just want to quickly shout out the Raiders. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for dropping in on Girls Run These Worlds. We love our audience and our community, and thank you for trusting us with yours. And now it's time for the fun part. We are going to start our novel chapter. One beautiful, uh, clear morning with a family breakfast. You are all seated together for what seems like the first time in a few weeks, not since uh, your mother's passing. And while you've seen your mother flitting about, going back to social gatherings and doing things, this is the first time you all have managed to really sit down for a meal together since all of that turmoil. And when you all arrive, you see your mother sitting there in a just like a regular, like, casual dress, nothing super fancy. And she's at the head of the table, and she says, "Come now, I've had the kitchen prepare all of your favorites." And there's scones and I don't know, like, what do you guys see at the table as your main character's favorite breakfast favorite? Yeah.
I see crepes,
Yeah,
and
there's
Kerria
crepes.
goes straight for the crepes. They are happy enough to just have breakfast with their mother, sits down and just great. This is great, and digs in.
There's a massive bowl of candied pineapples at the center of the table. And Chrysanthemum, she's not a morning person. She, walks out a little exhausted. It's nice to
Good
see Mother,
morning.
and oh my god.
Good morning, darling. I had the kitchens prepare your favorite.
Mother, you. And
Have a
she just
seat. Have a
rushes
seat.
towards the table to where the candied pineapples are and just immediately starts nibbling away.
As you all one by one slowly pile in, what's there waiting for Iris?
There would be some cranberry orange scones and some really fancy artisan brewed coffee waiting for her, and she would kind of just silently sit down and partake in her goodies, being quite solemn and quiet when around the full family.
Yeah, and Dahlia, what's waiting for you for breakfast?
Dahlia is stress eating scones, as usual. Dahlia, there's a plate of
Specific kind
scones
of
and
scones?
vanilla scones, just the very, very plain ones that she liked when she was a little girl. I think she knows that her coming out party is coming, and that they're gonna have to talk about that at some point. And if everybody's here, it might be now, and she's not ready for that conversation. So she's just gonna cram scones into her mouth.
It's not very ladylike or elegant at all, but it's
Nope.
very Dahlia. This is like, the Gardners being themselves, not there's nobody, it's just the family. There's nobody watching from the outside or anything like that. And it's a very kind of cozy feeling, like when you were kids, except different. And Lady Elena says, it feels like we haven't had a meal together in some time. It's been a few weeks. I know that the thing with having grown children is that everybody's going off and doing their own thing, but I wanted to I wanted to uh, have breakfast with all of you, and make sure you had your favorites, Once in a while, it's nice to indulge, don't you think?
Chrysanthemum with her mouth full of pineapple. Of course, Mother!
Kerria matches the same energy. It's like, yeah, of course. This is delicious. Thanks.
Yep, I got that.
Iris would just take a long sip of her coffee and look Dahlia in the eye. We know this is about Dahlia's ceremony or whatever you call it.
I mean, partially it is. And I wanted to, make sure we were all on the same page and that you all rally behind her, for this big event. But also, I like having all of my children together. And I know it's not always possible all the time, but call me a sentimental one, but I had all of your favorites prepared, just like when you were children.
Except this time we only have one mother.
Chrysanthemum is just going to glare daggers at Iris. Like, really? At the table with the family?
Kerria is gonna reach with her with their hand and just place it and squeeze Iris's hand, like, just gently.
Iris
like an
will
encouraging.
squeeze back like tight.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's what Kerria does. Ooh.
Amazing. Iris will loosen her grip.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, that is the case, my darling, but this is a good time for us to remember that we are not dealing with this on our own. I have lost a partner, and you have lost a parent. And maybe a part of me feels bad for not being able to say, hey, I'm here for you. And it's easy enough to get caught up in our own minds. It's easy enough to forget that we have the support of a family. I would never want to put my own problems on any of you, but I suppose I haven't done a good enough job to encourage you to come to me with any of your problems or feelings. But regardless, I'm still here, and I will continue to be for as much as I can. And I love each and every one of you.
Of course, Mother. I know we hear your flower children, and each of us blossoms well on our own, but I cannot speak words to how deeply I appreciate our little garden, even if they can be a bit thorny at times. And she'll cast a more playful glance towards Iris and Kerria.
And some quite horny. And she casts a glance at Chrysanthemum.
I'm gonna throw a piece of candied pineapple and make sure it lands in Iris's hair.
She'll just take it out and like drop it on the table. Unbothered.
You see your mother take just essentially butter a scone and just like look a little bit amused by everything and take a gentle bite before she says, well, it's good to see that you're somewhat getting along. I wanted to check in. I've been caught up in things, and I'm sure you have as well, so I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to just check in a little bit. Check in with each other, check in with me, That being said, we're gearing up for a big event at the end of the season, and
A
your
very
sister,
big event indeed.
your
Very,
sister,
very big.
your sister not only needs your support, but also needs all of you on your best behavior. And she kind of gives like everyone a like serious look.
I will pay you to behave if I have to.
Well, you all know that I'm the best event planner
Mm.
in the area, so
That's
as
the
the
other
socialite of the family,
that's the other thing. An event this big does not plan itself, and I would like to request that all hands are on deck for the next few weeks.
oh, absolutely.
This
Of course,
must be
Mother.
this must be the biggest event to end this season.
This is the first time that Iris has looked happy in a long time, like at the prospect of planning and coordinating this event. She finally is perked up a little bit, and it's very noticeable.
It's good to see that you are ready to return to family activities, Iris. You were missed at my birthday party.
Yes, well, I can imagine that since I didn't plan it, it was not nearly as fantastic as it could have been.
Chrysanthemum is going to roll her eyes. Socializing party.
I have a
When
question
you
for
brought
you.
peacocks in? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I want to ask a question specifically to Kristin. Do you think
Yes.
that uh, her Iris's activities specifically are super low key that even mom doesn't know, or is it like a I've told mom like our little secret situation? Like, what do you think?
No, mom wouldn't know. Carrie would be the only one who would
Okay,
know. Yeah.
so then she has no idea about why Iris went
No.
missing on her birthday.
No, well, what
I
she would think, like the cover story Iris is saying is that she was just weeping inconsolably and has been grieving. She has been grieving, just not in that way. So,
Oh, and Kerria totally like hammed it up. Oh, we can't even go to her room.
we can't get her out of the
It's just so
bed.
hard.
okay.
Yeah.
I am very pleased that you are ready to return to uh, family activities and make appearances in society again.
It
I was
is
concerned.
just so
I
great
was
to be
con-
up and about. Up and about.
I was concerned about you for a while, but I'm glad that you're getting excited again.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to have things to be excited about.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure you haven't been experiencing any exciting things recently.
The socialite of the
No,
family would only mourn properly.
nothing quite as exciting as other rumors I've heard.
hmm. um, Dahlia, darling, you okay? You haven't said very much.
You know I don't want the party. You know I don't want to go. I will, because it's my duty, but I didn't want this position.
Of course not.
I don't envy you that position.
Me
It's
either.
I don't think
it's a
any of us
lot.
do.
And honestly, we've done a lot to change the way things are done in greater society, but we only have so much influence as far as politics are concerned and as far as official titles. They do not get passed down to partners or spouses. Um, And while we fought for all of the siblings to be recognized as members of the peerage, there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of, birthrights and things of such manner. Um, the rules still state that it is a birthright, and you are the only one who can claim such a birthright. That
And
being said,
we knew I would have to eventually. My problem isn't with the birthright itself. My problem is with the circumstances under which I'm acquiring all these new responsibilities.
of course, and honestly, it's not ideal, and I understand that more than anything. I want you to know that I will do whatever I can to support you, darling. And honestly, I have a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope for the kind of change you can bring with someone as strong-willed and intelligent as you. You can only continue the work that your mother has done before you. And I can't think of anyone better, honestly.
I hope you're right. I mean, it's too late now, if you're not, to go back. So
well,
I
of course
sincerely
she's
hope you
right.
are.
Of course she's right. I can't think of anybody better either. You're fantastic. A natural. It's kind of scary.
I think you were born 30.
Probably.
But like in a fun way.
Sure, that's what I meant. In a fun way.
In a fun way for some people.
Like a fetus springing from Jupiter's skull, fully formed. That kind of way. Although hopefully not from Mother's skull, fully formed.
We digress.
So let's talk about something a little more fun.
The party?
Let Iris plan her party.
Of course. I just wanted to ask, how are you all doing in the courtship department?
Don't you read the papers? We're
We're
all
always
engaged.
in the papers, mother.
Some of us twice.
I mean, I have read those, but I don't pay too much. I don't give Lady Worthington too much stock. She's probably
Well,
seriously
they're usually
bitter,
right.
seriously bitter, jealous woman. I don't know. I would rather hear it from all of you.
Chrysanthemum's just gonna pull up her strangely high-necked gown and cough. Arthur and I are getting along quite well. Yes.
And I
Did
believe
he,
Eliza and I are getting back together. So
Oh, that's wonderful news.
it is.
Iris?
Lucy and I are closer to being together than not. We're going on a very lovely date soon. And that's
you mean-
about it.
You mean
Lucy Baker, yes.
her? Yeah.
Yes.
You had a bit of a drifting for a while, didn't you?
I got busy with my career.
I remember she threw champagne in your face.
Recently.
She threw champagne in your face?
Recently, yes, right before you arrived at the Queen's soiree. Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm so glad to hear from all of you.
Yep.
We should try to make this more of a regular thing. And that's where we'll end this scene.
Aw. Family breakfast.
Cute little family.
Family drama.
All right. So we have established that there's going to be a big thing at the vineyard, the LaFay family vineyard.
Those LaFays, yes.
The LaFay.
Yes,
The LaFays.
the Avondale LaFays who have that vineyard. Gotcha. Okay. So who wants to kind of start off the festivities at the vineyard?
I'll make a point of saying Chrysanthemum is going to arrive as late as she can be without being impolite. She's dreading this.
Kerria has invited Eliza out, and has asked her before they arrived at the LaFay vineyard, have you had a chance to speak with Esther?
Can I spend a resolve token to have Brandon show up, like last minute, like running up to them, like, yo, what the heck? You didn't invite me?
I imagine it's like, so like I imagine this is in the middle. Like Eliza's like, haven't seen her in ages. From what I saw, she was spending her tears in the sword yard. Then Brandon just like full golden retriever. Hey guys.
Yeah. So who can? If someone is okay with that, can I?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Resolve token to.
I guess just spend it. I think
I'll give it to Kerria because you're the like
main character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Hey, you two, what the heck, you two? You didn't invite me along.
First of all, this is a date. Why would I invite you?
Wait, whoa. A date?
Yeah.
Yes. Didn't you hear Esther screaming a few weeks ago?
No, I actively try not to listen to what you two get up to in the bedroom.
You just gonna slap Brandon's arm.
Listen, I'm just saying that wouldn't be the loudest you have gotten.
All right, enough.
Sorry.
This is obviously a date, Brandon, and this is why I didn't invite you.
This isn't obviously a date, Brandon. I don't know why you're saying that to me.
I'm obviously dating your sister again. What?
You two just being in the same proximity together in front of my face could mean that you're dating, but it also could totally mean you're about to punch each other. So I came running over to assess the situation because neither one of you two buttholes told me you were dating again.
Brandon.
Well, now you know. Do you want to hang out?
While
I try to date your sister?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out while you try to get in bed with my sister, because
I beg your pardon, Brandon.
Fault that I'm here now. Yeah, whatever, Eliza. And he'll just like politely like shove sibling.
Literally just like go in between them. I'm on the date now.
I am the date
now. Whatever. This has happened like a lot. Brandon would show up and then it'll just be like a group hangout instead of a date. So this is normal.
Yeah. So Brandon will insert himself between the two of them and hold out his hands for them to hold his hands. Just like old times.
And squeeze hard.
Kerria, though initially upset, finds this absolutely hilarious and hoops an arm around Brandon's arm.
Yeah.
It's like, my dearests, shall we?
Yes, sister, brother, wives, or something.
Oh, no. That is not where I wanted this to go, but let's go, shall we?
Yes.
He's clearly joking, and then he also looks at his sister and is like, my hand is like 5 times the size of yours. That doesn't hurt at all, dude.
I'm going to put salamanders in your bed tonight for this. You understand that?
Joke's on you. I like salamanders.
I'm aware. I've seen what you keep under your bed.
That's unfortunate.
All right. So as this is happening, who else is at this vineyard?
I recognize how I completely ruined everyone's mind in the last few moments. I'm so sorry.
Chrysanthemum, what's up with Chrysanthemum? Let's just pivot on that.
is about the latest you can arrive at a Leaf
Yep.
party without being impolite, and Chrysanthemum is incognito. We're
I
talking
imagine it's an open house for the vineyard, and there's lots of people around. You could easily just like maneuver
yes.
your way.
Oh, she's going dramatic. Like, Chrysanthemum never does anything in half measures. We're talking a veiled hat, gossamer gown, just like a spirit. And of course, it attracts more attention, but everyone knows it's Chrysanthemum, but they're not going to say anything. And I am looking for the oldest Liege daughter, for this is where she asked me to meet her.
Esther has just finished a fencing demonstration and is still in her fencing uniform, and absolutely recognizes the dramatic entry of Chrysanthemum Gardner and removes her helmet and waits for Chrysanthemum to catch her eyes and then gestures towards one of the like private gazebos that are on the property.
Your Chrysanthemum's going to jump, breaking this elegant, ghostly appearance that she has going on, and then just, oh, okay, yes, yes, ma'am, to the gazebo. If this is about the dress, then you need to charge the peacock keepers. It falls under their jurisdiction.
I mean, I hate to tell you how to live your life, but typically when one commits a crime, they don't then admit it to the person that they did the crime to. At least not immediately.
Damn you.
Don't worry, I knew it was you. Who else would it be?
Well, no, I'm not going to incriminate anyone else. It was only me. You are correct, Esther, as you apparently always are.
I wouldn't say that at all. I'd say I'm actually quite often wrong, typically when it comes to gardeners, but just as a general rule, I do seem to get it wrong quite often.
Oh, yes, so I've heard. How's the engagement going, by the way?
You know perfectly well that it's over.
I only wanted to ask, after all, since you wanted to exchange pleasantries. I am a courted woman.
I wanted to request that you leave my name out of your mouth, Chrysanthemum. I have done you no injury. Your mother told me exactly what she thought I was worth, and I ended the engagement because how could I possibly marry into a family that thought I was worth so little? And ever since then, all you have done is try and destroy my name and my sanity. So I'm asking you to call an end to it. I want no part of it. I'm leaving Avondale.
You're leaving?
Why would I stay?
But Esther, you've your entire family here, and I'm certain people you love and
have been humiliated several times in the past few months by primarily your family. So there's no saving my reputation. This will be my last Liege party.
Well, Esther, I'm terribly sorry to hear that.
Somehow
However,
I doubt that, but thank you.
No, and Chrysanthemum, with permission, of course, is actually going to reach out and... Because Esther's very tall. She's actually going to go and put it on Esther's shoulder.
She fully recoils and does not allow you to touch her.
Esther, I did not mean to drive you out from this... I was childish. I can admit that. But I don't believe that you're as quite innocent as you're putting yourself here. After all, you took Eliza's hand in marriage, and from what it seems...
Yes, because I thought I could be happy, and then I overheard her talking to your sibling, who she is now here with. So clearly I was wrong about that as well.
I won't doubt you that, but you are not going to pin this on my family. You chose to meddle. Kieran, yourself!
1,000 years ago, when I was stupid enough to think that the first gardener that I met could possibly care about me.
You know what I think, Esther? You know what I truly think of you?
No, but I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Because unlike you, I'm not going to hide behind niceties and engagements. I think that you and your family are a bunch of money-grabbing, ladder-climbing lot. And the only reason you ever showed interest in me or my siblings was an attempt to grab at the duchy. So you know what? Fine, leave. Avondale will be a fine place without you and your social antics. And she's just gonna yell that last part.
Chrysanthemum, I wouldn't have gotten the duchy. It was always going to go to Dahlia. So unless I killed her, then that was never going to happen. So that clearly can't be the reason that I went after you, or the reason that I proposed.
Can I spend a resolve token to have Iris come up to help protect her sister upon hearing that last outburst?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, please.
Okay, so I will.
I guess that would go. That would go to probably Esther. Yeah, just put it in Esther's pool. We'll see how this works
Okay.
out.
Yes.
Great. Iris will come up and put one hand on each of Chrysanthemum's shoulders. Is there a problem?
I'm not the one yelling.
Well, we were just talking about confessing to crimes, and considering that the sword player here just mentioned a particular plot. Really, Esther, why don't you enlighten us all? Why have you taken up swords? I doubt it's just frustration.
You don't know me well enough to make that assumption, Chrysanthemum. I took up fencing because I enjoy it, and because it's something that doesn't require me to interact with people who will then turn around and tell my business to the scandal sheets. It's simple. I like it.
Perhaps this conversation is over, seeing as I'm not really sure you're worth my sister's time at the moment.
You're in my home, so you're welcome to leave if you feel that way.
Yes, well, perhaps some wine first then. And
Or you could leave now, Iris.
Iris will start to just pretend she didn't hear that and start to wheel her
Does Esther
sister
have
away.
footmen, guards?
Probably. She's kind of new money, right? I don't know if they'd have. I don't know if that's how that works with.
I think in this case, Esther will signal to her father and gesture for Iris to be removed along with Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum, maybe you should. Do you want to leave or do you want me to fix this?
No. She's only doing this because she wants attention, and she wants a reaction. I'm fairly certain of it. And therefore, she was quite right. She should leave Avondale, and you were right. She isn't worth a moment further of my time. Let's
Goodbye.
go. I'll leave you to your swords. You'll find your company well along with it. Oh my god.
We're done now. Goodbye.
I feel so bad now.
It's okay. That was a great scene. No regrets, y'all.
No regrets.
Okay.
You're amazing.
What happens to dates now? Okay.
Iris will just go pick up Lucy and come right back. And she'll smooth it over when she shows back up or try to.
Okay.
That could be that could have happened at the end of the dates, since she
Yeah.
since Chrysanthemum
Okay,
did show up
yes.
late.
Yeah, well,
You know what?
So true.
You know what? Let's have a little bit of a palate cleanser. Let's have Peregrine and Dahlia show up. Please.
we need a break from the angst.
So Peregrine would have gotten there very early, and would be dressed up probably in. I'm so sorry to do this, but it's just the image that I got vividly in my head. But a pastel is not the right color. I would say slightly darker than mint, maybe a mint greenish suit with a bow tie, and a little top hat that matches. And he would be holding, like, they would be holding a large bouquet of flowers and a book.
I think before Dahlia arrives, just as she's getting to kind of the threshold of where everyone is entering the vineyard, I think she has, by this point, more than likely a ring on her hand that she's going to take off and pocket before she goes in to see Peregrine. I like the suit. It suits you. No pun intended.
Yes, well, good pun though. And he's like, struggling to hold the two things in his arms. You know, uh okay, these first, and he'll like gesture the large thing of flowers into Dahlia's arms. You look fantastic per usual, trying to get better at, saying nice stuff to you sometimes, because I guess you deserve it on occasion.
Very kind of you, Peregrine.
Yeah, that's a descriptor I'd like people to start using for me a little bit more often, so I'm working on it, So the thing is, you annoy me a lot. And so much so, actually, I think I've lost more sleep thinking about you than my own research, which was talking to a couple of friends, and that's usually not what you do when you hate somebody, unless you're like a really scary person. So the nature of my feelings for you are obviously romantic, and that's been declared a few times, and we almost made it happen. Granted, perhaps a few glasses of wine made that idea more appealing or easier to swallow. But I wanted to be sure that I tried, and that I really tried. And so this is for you. And he hands you a, let's say, whatever Dahlia's favorite work of fantasy fiction is, whatever that might be. It is a first edition copy with like a personalized author's note, like preface that was pinned in, so it's unique to like only this copy, and it's like in pristine condition, and he presents that to Dahlia. This is a shallow, overly simplified symbol of my affections.
Peregrine, it's beautiful. Thank you.
A more important one, more than the flowers or that damned rare book, is this. And he will get down on one knee and pull out a ring that is clearly like antique, vintage, like it's existed in probably his family for a while. And it's not your traditional like diamond. It's the color of like a a deep purple dahlia flower. And that's the ring that he presents.
Oh no.
That they present. Yeah. I said I had to try. I had to really try. Because I need to know, and even though knowing one way or the other isn't gonna get rid of my love for you, at least it might give me a little bit of closure. Maybe an amazing future. So, if you want to argue about stupid, silly matters every night that really have no importance, and want to agree on the values of life, and come complain about your family to me, and then let me get absolutely verbally destroyed by your sibling and you laugh at it. If you want that to be a regular thing, I'm yours. I've been yours. I'd like to stay yours.
Before we continue, I would like to spend a monologue token on Dahlia to just tell me how you're feeling about all of this inside your head.
Horrified at this public of a display. There was a reason that we went with elopement in the first place, and it was so that not everyone in the town would see this happen. So there's a moment of just, oh no. I think once the initial shock wears off, there's a little bit of a sadness. There's a nostalgia. I think Dahlia is looking down at Peregrine Cabot on one knee and remembers the first time that this happened. Remembers seeing that ring the first time and being over the moon that somebody chose her. And then immediately remembers the disappointment of having to choose the future she knew was coming for her over someone who wasn't tied to that future. And I think the sadness comes from knowing that she's about to have to do it again. So I think she puts a hand on top of Peregrine. She doesn't close the box, but she, after staring at the ring for a moment, puts a hand on top of Peregrine's on the box and actually gets down so that she's at the same level that he is, so that he's not out on this limb on his own.
As she's doing that, Peregrine's like, no, don't start with your excuses.
Not excuses. I'm not going to tell you that the future you described isn't one that I want. All I can tell you is that my life has never really been about what I want. My life has been about what's best for my family. And I don't know that this is Peregrine. The Duchess is gone, and I'm the Duchess now, or I will be. And I will never be any less enamored of my family, Peregrine. That will never happen. There will never be a time they don't come first.
Dahlia Gardner, I am madly in love with you, and I will come second to your family. I will come third after your work. It would be the honor of my life to even have the smallest percentage of your attention be reserved for me.
Peregrine, I have loved you for a very long time. In my office, there is a very embarrassing scrapbook of all of your achievements. over the time that we have been apart. There has never been a time that I wasn't thinking of you. In actuality, I probably still love you, and the answer still has to be no.
You are the most unintelligent, brilliant person I know.
I hear that a lot.
And I hope more than anything that you let yourself feel something for yourself.
When this is all over, maybe.
It's never going to be over, Dahlia. But
No.
take some comfort in knowing that my love for you will also never be over.
I realize it's not quite the same as the title of husband, but there are going to be very few people that I can argue with in the future and maintain my dignity. So I hope that you will continue to be my friend.
I can't imagine life without you in it in some capacity, so I guess I'll deal with your obnoxious ass still.
Good, because you promised to take me to go look at bones, and I haven't forgotten.
Right. I have a great bone available on hand at
I
any
just bet
time.
you do. I remember.
Well,
Get
he'll
up, you're
stand
ruining
up.
your suit.
Yeah, he's gonna stand up and offer a hand to help Dahlia up.
The knees of her dress are just destroyed. It's all grass stains now, and she just kind of looks at it and just,
He's gonna try and clean it. He's gonna try. Doesn't work.
Don't worry, my whole family's here. I'm sure this isn't the most scandalous thing anyone's going to see today.
No. You kneeling in front of me? No.
I'm eccentric.
But, maybe in a few years, you'll let me take you out on a date. Maybe.
Let's make sure that we don't kill each other between now and then, and we'll see.
Maybe if we wait until the end of the date to kill each other, kind of like some animals do.
It would be sort of a win-win. I mean, I have always been partial to the praying mantis, which kills her prey after mating, but I'm sure we could come to a compromise.
I mean, at that point, I would have succeeded my greatest goal, so why not?
Sounds like we have quite a bit to discuss in the next few years.
I'm gonna go before I make this worse. He's gonna
You made it perfect, Peregrine.
He will turn bright red and still hustle away.
Dahlia is going to find the nearest tray of drinks that's being passed around, and not only double fist, she's going to have 2 glasses of champagne in one hand and a third one in her other hand, and just go into the distance, just as far away from all of this as possible.
I have a question. In terms of the dates that are happening, could you just give me a snapshot of what is happening with Iris and Lucy on this date? You can have little moments.
Yeah, so Iris would be showering Lucy with all the best wine and food and snacks, and would have purchased her a necklace with like a little dainty like pearl at the center as a present upon picking her up for the date. And as they were walking around sipping on wine, Iris would say, She never meant anything. She runs in the same writing circles as I do, underground. She only knows me as Irene Farmer. I never had any feelings for her. She was just someone to fill the time with no need for any emotional effort, because I couldn't develop those sorts of feelings for anybody but you. So there was no point in looking for someone or something like that, and she is no longer in my life.
Admittedly, Lucy really knows that Iris is pulling out all the stops for her, that she means well. If there's one question lingering on her mind, she's nodding, accepting all of this. Of course, Iris, I'm grateful for you for being so forthcoming, but there is something that is on my mind.
Of course.
Those scenes in your books, were they inspired by her?
Kristin needs a moment because Kristin's face is red. That is too. Listen, Are you okay? No, I'm great. I just am. That was so good, and I'm so embarrassed. Okay. No. Immediately, Iris will go. What? No. That's an interesting question. No, there are a few other people that I did not have frequent encounters with. I did experience some scandalous. I actually think we should destigmatize those sorts of things, but she wasn't the only person I was with. She was just the person that I ended up forming a long-term arrangement with. So, experiences were had with others, and also I drew from my imagination and other novels that I read.
I see.
A lot are fantasies I had about you. I'm sorry, Abby needs a minute. I'm like, I'm so gay. My heart. Give me a minute. Haha. Uno reverse. Uno reverse.
I would like to chime in as the facilitator and say, well played. Both of you well played.
I gotta touch grass. Give me a minute. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Proceed as you were.
Oh, all right. Lucy is just going to give Iris a hooded look and lean in a bit closer and say, I hoped you'd say that. Perhaps you could show me precisely what scenes and fantasies you had in mind.
I mean, I had to,
after the party.
And then she hears Chrysanthemum yelling.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, this is a cock block.
And
would it be a beaver dam in this case?
And she goes,
My God!
I would love to continue this after I rein in my younger sibling, and then she'll slip away and get kicked out.
Is this the Regency equivalent of I'll call you later? Just
Well, no, it was supposed to be I'm gonna take care of my sibling, and then I'm gonna be right back, and we're gonna leave together. It was so, but getting kicked out got in the way of the second half of that plan. So,
Is there anything, Kerria and Eliza, like y'all want to add to that, or are they just hanging out? Is this just a weird group hang?
It's just like seeing everything
Oh yeah,
is like
Brandon's like
He's so.
just hanging out, getting drinks.
Brandon's happy to be there.
He really
We're
is a
just,
golden retriever.
I just want to say that Kerria and Eliza and Brandon are probably just having the time of their lives, just trying out different wines, and
Yeah.
it's not even.
Eliza's
really
definitely
concerned.
lightened up. Like she's gotten
Yeah.
a little tipsy. She's having fun.
We're not really focused on Esther right now, or on like my siblings, on anything. We are getting drunk on this
All
wine
right.
and having fun with Brandon.
Day drunk at the
And
winery.
and hopefully we can ditch
Okay.
Brandon at some point.
I would say definitely towards the end, probably honestly right around the same time you start to hear Chrysanthemum like yelling. Brandon would probably like get distracted like talking to Lucy or someone, like because they would like bump into Lucy right around the time like after Iris would be out of view, I would guess, and so he would get distracted.
Kerria would take that time to grab Eliza's hand and go for like swiftly like run away to have like a little bit of private time. Kerria is not concerned with Chrysanthemum as well, only because Chrysanthemum has pulled this kind of things where she would shout, and Kerria's drunk, so it's like she'll be fine. There's like others.
Well,
there's
plus,
like 3 more. There's like 2
Yeah.
more siblings here. They'll take care of it.
I would imagine, like, right as you came up to Lucy would have been like, oh yeah, Iris just went to go deal with Chrysanthemum screaming. Did you hear that? And Brandon would be like, yeah, I heard that. And then y'all would run off.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Okay. Very well. So, the day at the LaFay Winery? Yeah, very eventful. The Gardner siblings find their way back to Spring Blossom Estate, and they reconvene. Dahlia, being the older sister that she is, calls for a meeting among siblings,
Oh no.
a sibling session, a sibling salon. Where is this usually held, and how, like, essentially, like, where's this sibling only meeting held, and how is it kept, a secret, I guess?
I think probably it's outside, away from the servants, away from their parents. No one is trapped. There are no walls to keep anyone there. I think it's probably in the part of the garden where the sunflowers are the tallest, where it's easiest to kind of just like almost create like not a treehouse because they're sunflowers, but kind of an enclosure where they can kind of cut through the tall branches of the sunflowers and just come rest in the middle and not be seen by anyone else.
So it is probably late afternoon or early evening by the time everybody gets together. Do you go before dinner, after dinner? What's the plan?
I think after dinner, to give Lady Elena the impression that everything at the winery went fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing went wrong at all.
Kerria's whatever buttons have been unbuttoned, and they're drunk still, with a big goofy grin on their face. Everything went great.
Yep. Everything almost went great for somebody.
Chrysanthemum just sinking slowly into her chair with a frown.
Yeah, Iris is like, whenever no one else is looking, she is giving Chrysanthemum the look of like, I almost got laid and you ruined it, and you will pay for this.
This close. It was this close.
So after that, I think Iris, upon hearing that a family meeting was called, would sneak out like once like mother would go start doing like her bedtime routine. And we're all like, we'll clean up, don't you worry. And then, as you know, it wouldn't be too hot outside or the sun wouldn't be too high in the sky, that's when Iris would sneak out to their little meeting spot.
I imagine that this is the way they would coordinate shenanigans as younger kids. They've done this so many times.
Oh yeah, it runs like a well-oiled machine, like they all know. Yeah.
I think this time that Dahlia is the last one to arrive, and she's brought with her the aforementioned bottle of dark liquor that she and Ulysses were talking about last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I can drink anymore.
You definitely should not. You should
don't,
have water.
I don't think I can drink. I have had way too much to drink.
You know you're not supposed to drink all of the wine at a wine tasting, don't you?
I mean,
You're supposed to taste it and move on.
they were all very good.
Clearly. And I just want to kind of lean Kerria up against something. Just here, just.
Yo, Kerria can like.
Kerria is sitting on the
Chrysanthemum
ground
will
and is
support
just
them
like,
up.
like
I imagine there's some
bisexually
kind of
sitting on the ground. That's what Kerria is doing right now.
I imagine there's some tree or some,
Just
you
something
could probably
so
do
A
it.
stump.
they don't tip all the way over.
Yep.
Dahlia takes an open mouth swig from the bottle, fully just uncorks it, has not brought glasses, and essentially does a shot before passing the bottle to Iris and says, "This family has too many secrets, and it's becoming a problem."
Iris takes a huge swig.
Chrysanthemum has a tiny sip, but her mouth is dry.
All right, I'll have a sip.
I don't think you need any more. No.
Okay.
I'm
grab
just
it.
gonna
then
smack
I
the back of
drink
Kerria's hand.
Oh,
You just said
Alright.
you shouldn't have any more.
I mean,
That was
whenever
you said that.
whenever I've ever followed the rules, when?
So, too many secrets. Just us, not you.
No, I said this family. I didn't say you all. I'm including myself in that. Why do you think I'm drinking?
All right. And what do you want to do about it?
I understand not telling Lady Elena everything, obviously. That's sort of been our stock and trade our entire lives, is making sure that Lady Elena and the Duchess did not find out exactly how much trouble we had gotten ourselves into. The difference now is that I'm going to be the Duchess. And I will still be doing what I've been doing, which is trying to protect the lot of you and trying to keep things calm enough that you can live your lives in whatever manner you wish. But I need your help to do that. And you can't lie to me like you can lie to Lady Elena.
You know you're not the only one who tries to protect the family, right? That's not just you.
I know that, but I also know that we are all impulsive.
Yeah.
Esther is leaving Avondale.
I'd heard.
And I feel bad about that. Even though it's proper for her to leave after everything that's happened.
Well, Chrysanthemum and I are also probably forever banned from the premises of the LaFay vineyards.
Yeah, their wines weren't that great anyway.
Well, if Esther's leaving, then I don't really see that that's a problem for us. It's not like we were great guests of the LaFays anyway. And if you said your piece and said what you meant, then at least that will be what they remember of you.
Delilah loves me, and she'll be better off without Esther anyway, and her scheming.
I would not recommend saying that to her.
Probably not.
You're right.
was a really great event venue, though, that I now no longer have access to, which is unfortunate, but anything for family.
Iris, I'll make you a deal. I will speak to the LaFays. Technically, I will outrank them very shortly, so they'll have a difficult time saying no to me. I will speak to the LaFays, and all that I need from you is slightly less of the cloak and dagger. I'd like to have a slightly better idea of where you are, just as a general rule, and who you're with, so that if something does arise and I need to make a move, I'm not running behind you trying to catch up.
Well, good news is that I think if I'm not home, I'll probably be at Lucy's. So
That is fantastic news. Congratulations.
yes, thank you.
Kerria,
What?
I'm going to wait until you sober up, and then you and I are going to have a different conversation about your absence.
Oh, you know me. I was just goofing around. I was just having
Kerria.
fun for a year. Yeah.
Kerria,
Yeah.
I know. And I just want to hold Carrie's gaze.
The Kerria feels like I feel like ice cold go down my spine and I freeze at that. And I go, huh?
Like I said, we'll wait until you're in a clearer state of mind. But I just wanted you to know that I know. Mother does not.
Good. Thank you.
She won't. There's no reason for her to. But with things like this in the future, I need you to tell me while I still have a chance to do something about it, so that we don't lose you or anyone else for another year.
I grab at the bottle and take another swig and pass it back.
I do not stop you this time. Chrysanthemum, I understand why Esther gets under your skin the way that she does. And I imagine that we'll have fewer issues with impulsivity now that she's leaving Avondale.
Yes, sister. I didn't wish for it to be like this. I feel as though I've overstepped bounds in that way.
I think that it is simply very easy to see things through the lens of the hurt that you've experienced. It doesn't make it invalid. It doesn't make it untrue. It doesn't leave room for more data to be added to the calculation. It's not a character fault. It's a miscalculation.
You know, I was never good with numbers, Dahlia.
Well, hopefully you'll be married soon and you'll have someone to do all of the numbers for you. But until then, if you're concerned about the math of something, come find one of us.
Do you actually want to marry him, by the way?
Oh, yes, I do. Arthur and I have been working on things, and his fathers are, I think they're starting to come around. And we were planning a
Okay.
fox hunt.
Fantastic. That sounds lovely. I'm
And
happy
we
for
love
you.
that there's that scene between the rival queendoms and the fox hunt and the gun oil being on glistening skin.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you loved those.
Yes. I there's just so much family news to absorb. Between you and Arthur and Dahlia and, well, a couple of people, it would seem.
Yes,
Or so I've heard.
In the interest of not keeping secrets and in the interest of turnabout being fair play, I'm almost certain I'm going to marry Ulysses Not.
Him. Didn't I say? I said I liked him.
he always was nice to us.
Hmm.
And Peregrine's always been, well, Peregrine.
Interesting.
That's what the choice came down to.
But do you love him, Dahlia?
Ulysses, of course I do.
Do
I
you
wouldn't
love
have kept him around
Peregrine?
this long. Of course I do.
Why not have
But-
them both?
I don't
You
think
know
society
what?
is quite ready for the Gardners to make another change.
Oh, come on. Arthur's parents do that. I mean, I'm not supposed to
Arthur's
say, but...
parents do that?
Oh, yes, there's whole gatherings.
I mean, I feel pretty confident that I could say that Peregrine is interested in every opportunity.
Ulysses, perhaps not so much, though.
My
More
dear
than
sister,
fair.
you gotta tell me more about the O'Doyles and their gatherings.
You are not
next-
allowed to go to those for any
Why
reason, by the
not?
way. For the obvious, absolutely not.
You never let me do anything fun.
Yes, correct.
Kerria,
yes,
please
especially
do
this
not-
is the kind of fun.
Please do not fuck either of my fathers-in-law, please.
Thank
You've
you for
already
saying it so that I
one
did not
fiancé.
have to.
Already, you have
Fine.
one fiance under your belt.
That one I would have to explain to Mother.
Oh no. Okay.
Also, just for the record, could everybody in the room stay away from a Sophia Lovelace?
Oh, the crazy one I saw in our azaleas earlier?
I'm sorry. What?
Who?
What?
How much earlier? And when were you going to mention?
Was that
there
just a piece of information you thought, ooh, I'll keep for myself?
Well,
we
I
not
just
concerned?
figured that you two were having a discussion and I may or may not have been sneaking out, so I didn't mention it to
No, I
anyone.
am exclusively with Lucy now. And Sophia, the last I heard, sort of hates me about it because I thought it was casual and she developed feelings and then saw me make out with Lucy in the rain. So if you see Sophia around, that is the time to alert the guard to remove her.
I would like
Noted,
to say that if anyone is found standing in our azaleas, someone should probably be notified of that.
All right, but it
Well,
would have
I'd
been
like to hang
incriminating.
out in the azaleas.
Yes, it could have been Kira.
But
Exactly.
we know who you are.
Oh, that's right. But I'm
You
not.
live here.
I'm not the only me.
I know. But
I'm
I would
sorry.
like to
You
think that
know?
after all this time, I can tell you for you.
I would like to personally understand my dearest sibling, my favorite sibling,
As a
Well,
I'll
favorite.
choose not to take offense to that.
what you mean by you're not the only you. That seems like something that I, of all people, should know about, and I don't, and instead Dahlia does, and that actually really pisses me off.
I didn't tell anyone.
Dahlia knows because Dahlia found out the way she finds out everything about you all, which is by sending someone after you to find out what kind of trouble you've gotten yourself into.
I didn't tell anyone.
Okay, well, now's your chance to share with the class.
Okay. I have like a twin sister who looks exactly like me, like a twin. Because I have a twin.
Yes, I mean there are twins that aren't identical, but
Yeah, but she looks exactly like
identical. Yes. Mhm.
She does.
and I met her a year and a half ago. And yeah.
Is that why you were gone?
Why did meeting
Part of
your
it.
identical sister correlate with you leaving suddenly and not saying why and also never answering my letters? Why is there a perfect correlation?
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm really way too drunk to have this conversation right now.
I will
But-
respect that boundary.
But it's really for everyone's best interest that I leave at that time.
I'll hold you to that, and I look forward to learning exactly what that means when you're sober.
And that cannot come too soon. And then I grab another another drink of the liquor bottle.
She'll reach for it. Can I spend a resolve token to grab it?
I mean,
You can just grab
you can
it.
just.
Oh, okay. I'll just yeah. So Iris just grabs it out of their hands.
Oh, more
No,
cookie.
no more for you, especially because I'm very much so looking forward to having that sober conversation with you.
You guys never let me do anything fun.
She hands it back to
Okay.
Dahlia.
Dahlia takes a very pointed swing of it before capping it and setting it down beside her.
So, an interesting Gardner sibling powwow has occurred in the Sunflowers. Is there anything that still needs to be covered?
I mean, not like a powwow, just a meeting, you know, but like.
Yeah, sorry, meeting. A gathering of gardeners. Sure.
Sorry. Just wanted to point it out.
No, it's okay. Sorry. My apologies. Is there anything that needs to be covered in this discussion?
I mean, we gotta wait for Kira to
Are we good?
sober up, because, like, dang, I want to know about this second sibling. Or rather, twin sister.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to move on. I think what's going to happen is we're going to skip the last rumor and scandal phase, because next session we are going to have epilogues instead of more rumors. So the sheet will remain as is. The confirmed rumors can still be converted into resolve tokens if they come into play in the story. What I would like to do, though, is do some reputation assessment. I have a question. In terms of reputation conditions, let's see, who needed to select one? I believe that Iris needed to select one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you selected one?
Well,
Okay,
I think.
cool. So I would like to ask you, which one do you think is fitting?
I would like to make a argument for her to get the reputation tag thoughtful for the amount of effort that she's now putting in with like Lucy and stuff.
Okay, you can. Okay, I think that you, for the most part, have managed to stay out of scandal. You haven't done anything publicly to have super scandalous.
No, I'm coming around.
Yeah, you can put thoughtful in as a tag for yourself. Now you are at 3 positive reputation tags and 3 negative. So
Mhm.
you actually have access to both the positive, one of the positive conditions and one of the negative conditions. They're
What
underneath
does
your
that
tags.
mean? Oh.
They're underneath the
Oh.
tags. Those are special things that will affect the story. And your selection is probably going to affect next session. Big time.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So we're going to cover that real quick.
Yeah. 1 second.
I think it
1
would be
second.
kind of awesome if you took the revenge one and Sophia came for you really hard like that.
Oh, I know. Oh.
Fracture doesn't seem to make so much sense
No, it
because
doesn't.
you just made amends.
Yeah. Okay.
With
Yeah.
this,
I'm gonna go with revenge then. Yeah.
and then Sophia's the one that's going to be coming for you. Okay,
Yeah. Sophia's
excellent.
gonna absolutely eviscerate me.
It's cool.
I mean,
I'm gonna message Glaiza later about something. And
Visery.
then your positive condition. These are 2 really cool ones as well.
Oh, I get to pick one of each.
Well, you get a positive and a negative one, but you cannot have 2 positive ones.
Yeah.
active, so.
I will pick. Social capital.
Nice.
And
let's
I'm
see.
going to be using that social capital to have a conversation with Dahlia.
Nice. No, it only the social capital specifically is with connections. They'll just believe you're always accurate or correct.
Well, the social capital one says when you offer relationship advice in confidence that appears to be reasonable, they
Sorry,
will
I
follow
misread that
it.
one. Okay, sure. You can attempt to give Dahlia relationship advice. I can't guarantee that'll go well for you, but you can try.
I know.
Let's see. Does anybody else have any reputation tags they think they've earned?
I think I've landed myself solidly into negative reputation with the scene I made and the driving out of one of society's up and comings.
Yeah.
Particularly, I would say, Chrysanthemum
What is the
Gardner has known to
tag you would
be
give yourself?
vengeful.
Oh, petty?
Petty, yes. She just wore
That's
down
that is
Esther
wrong.
until she drove her out of Avondale.
Okay, let me add that in for you. And which reputation condition would you like for the negative ones? They both really suck.
Yeah, I'm going to say Fracture, and I'm going to say Delilah, because she was close with her sister, as standoffish as Esther can be.
We'll cover this, but essentially it's just really bad time. But yeah. So Delilah is your fractured relationship. Excellent. Kerria? What you got?
I should probably add like a negative for being drunk in public and drinking all of the phase wine. Drunkard.
Rowdy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I mean, drunkard is funny too, but rowdy. Okay. Sorry. What is that?
Ooh, that means you get a negative condition too.
Let's do great offense. Let's have somebody be offended by me of local importance, and they mean to make it known publicly.
You know what? We will have a discussion because I need to clear some things up with you, but we will have that in place for the next session. By the way, out of curiosity, Dahlia, who is Dahlia's protege, by the way? We can make someone up, or you can you can pick someone who already exists.
I'm not going to make it Delilah LaFay, although that was a very, very strong first choice. I think I would like to. I think I want to make someone up, someone who is Kennedy.
Oh no.
Oh,
Kennedy.
Okay, you know what? We will have discussions about that. That's great. Do you think that Dahlia received any new reputation tags?
I think Dahlia held pretty fast to what is believed about her already, which is that in any situation she will put her family first.
I love Dahlia. Dahlia is like.
I think this round she held to that pretty strongly. I think turning down the engagement, which may have been what she wanted primarily for herself. I guess we'll find out. In the interest of what was most respectable for her family is pretty solidly in line with who she's been so far.
Great. We're going to have some kind of flashback situations because I am curious about the whole Ulysses Knot situation because I love that boy. I mean, I was like, if Dahlia doesn't want him, I want him.
I think Dahlia has just quietly decided in her mind, like, yeah, no, that, yeah, that's happening. That's okay.
But for now, we will end the evening session on our reputation phase. And I am so delighted to be the facilitator for this lovely group. We have one more to go next week, and then we shall see what happens to our lovely gardeners.
No, one more.
Our beautiful flower children.
I'm ready to say goodbye.
But for now,
I don't like endings. I hate them.
Look, it's not a
temporary.
It's
see
not,
you soon.
It's not a. It's a see you later. The gardener story is just beginning. But for now, let's go around and do some outros, starting with Kristin. Who are you when you're not playing the lovely socialite Iris Gardner?
When I am not playing Iris Gardner, I am Kristin House. And you can find me on Twitch as Kristin House, one word IN. And then on Twitter, Kristin _House. That is where I post everything that I am up to, and you can stay up to date. But also every Friday, except we're taking a 2-week break. But other than that, every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can find me over at twitch.tv/Dauntless, playing a D&D 5e homebrew pirate adventure created and GM'd by Dauntless, one of my absolute best friends, and soon our podcast, Table Talk Tavern, will start releasing, me and Dauntless. So, two friends talking all things tabletop. So stay tuned. That's it. That's all for now.
And Glaiza,
hey.
Who are you when you're not playing our lovely Liege Kerria Gardner? I can speak.
hey, I'm Glaiza. I go by they, them. I played Kerria, the surprising non-heartbreaker of the Gardeners. Shocking, I know. I'm a person of many hats. I'm a podcast host, a writer, a variety streamer, a talk show host of a show called Trial Run. I am also a TTRPG personality. This week, you can find me in a couple of different channels. Tomorrow, I'll be at /Kira858, where I'll be playing Alicia Lionor in Gods of Color, a demigod who is obsessed with dragons. So basically just me, but with magic. And then on Thursdays, I will be on /Atomic Zero playing Moira, the scholar turned space ninja because of space magic. There's that. Trial Run is gonna be on Friday, which is when I will be interviewing Eliza Pearl and introducing her to the worlds of teens in space. And then Saturday is just gonna be me playing games on my own channel, /classicalglaiza. where I play all kinds of romance games and games where I can only romance people. Well, not just people. I've romanced a lot of other monsters. And on Sundays, I'm coming back with Michaela on Blood on the Bayou. The show is gonna start up again this Sunday, so I'm excited for that. And I'm also gonna be on rerolls playing Dewdrop the Genasi on Iridian Nights. If that's so much to remember, that's okay. You can just follow me on Twitter at classicalglaiza, where I make all of these announcements. And also, just follow me anyway because I'm occasionally hilarious and I'm always a delight.
Right. DK, please. Who are you when you're not playing the most awesome Dahlia
Hi,
Gardner?
hello, I'm DK. When I'm not here, I'm honestly probably asleep during unnatural daylight hours because that is what working overnights does to you. But you can also find me at Darlings on Twitter, mostly crying about Exandria Unlimited right now, but pretty much every actual play that I watch is me crying about it and wishing I was that good.
I'm going into your DMs ASAP.
Please do, because I have so many thoughts. I actually watched part of it again before we did this. You can find me on Monday nights on Exquisite Corpse Presents as the archivist, who is the facilitator of a new game that we just started running called Divine Intervention. It's about newborn gods who have just woken up after being a meteor shower and are now trying to figure out what they are supposed to do with their newfound divinity. Abby is playing a fantastic, incredibly adorable bee woman, so you definitely don't want to miss that. And then on Saturdays, you can find me also on Exquisite Corpse Presents running another D&D homebrew game called Say a Prayer for California Sister Cities. This weekend is our 20th episode and our season finale. Things are going to get absolutely insane, and we're all a little bit terrified, so please feel free to join us and our guests for that. I have other things coming up, but I'm pretty sure that there are snipers on rooftops waiting for me if I announce them before they're ready to be announced, so I'm going to shut my mouth. Thanks for listening.
And last but not least, the wonderful Abby. Tell us who you are when you're not playing Chaos Monkey Chrysanthemum Gardner.
Goodness, you're so amazing. But hi, it's me, Abby. Tonight I was your little heat nest with a negative reputation. But if you want to see me do more things, I announce the projects I'm involved with on @NuffOfAbby, where I also talk about my Dinin nerdery. But as for the current projects I'm involved with, I'm going to be finishing up my series with Ampersand D20's Ein Memento Mori, where you can see me play the bad scientist Celia, and hopefully she won't raise more dead, but we'll see as she unlocks the door in their hideout. You can also keep an eye out for some projects coming out with some other lovely groups. But for now, keep an eye out for me, as DK mentioned earlier, as your lovely bee goddess, Melisande. And of course, on here with these amazing folks. And I hope to play so many more games with them. I love them all so much.
And we love you right back, Abby. I am Anne, the facilitator of this game. You can find me right here tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern, where I play mech pilot Renegade, who is a hacker with lots of secrets and lots more guns. She may or may not be in trouble. So that is tomorrow afternoon. I practically live on this channel. If I'm not on screen, I am modding and hyping everyone else up. I need to actually get my link updated, but if you want to know what I am up to, you can now go to I got my own domain and everything, so now my links and everything are my domain redirects to all my information. That is annramos.ca. I don't know who we're raiding, but we're going to go raid someone awesome right about now. I just want to say, on behalf of my cast, thank you so much to the lovely audience out there. We appreciate you showing up for our show and for every show on this channel. You guys are the best. Stay awesome. Good night.